Hey guys, welcome back. Today's lesson, we're going to share with you some techniques on how to get some real feedback, how to start talking to the people that you want to help, and figuring out if there is a genuine need, figuring out if your product or service solves a real problem. So with that in mind, there's a few free techniques that I want you to leverage, and there's also a couple of things that you can do that are very, very cost effective. For a couple of $100, you're going to get insane feedback. And we want to do this as early as possible. So once you do come up with that idea, you move forward from there. So the first and easiest thing that you can do is join Facebook groups, join LinkedIn groups, ask simple but very compelling questions. We want to bring out their secrets. We want to bring out their primal urges, their desires. I know that sounds a little bit deep and dark, but in all honesty, people hold those things down deep for a reason. But they are the biggest pain points, and we need to bring them out. So the way that we do that is by asking a very compelling question like, what's the biggest problem you're facing? Like, here's a great example. In a group that I know with certainty has the people that I think I can help, what's the number one thing that has stopped you from starting your own business? And you want to ask something like, what's the number one reason why you haven't done X, Y, Z? So in this example, it's the number one reason why you haven't started your own business yet. That's it. You keep it short, sharp, and simple. You know, you will get some answers to that question because it's hitting a big pain point. Another way that you can ask that question is by flipping the switch. So you ask it as if it's already happened. So you ask people, why did you start a business? Why have you done the thing that I'm trying to help people do? And that's going to give you some really good feedback as well. So once you start, you'll start to be able to gather a bit of data, a bit of intelligence on people, and from there you're going to be able to friend request these people, ask them if they'd mind having a real conversation, and you can start to build out some real information on these guys. You can do this in local community groups. You can go to local meetups, anywhere where your prospective people are hanging out, where you can have a real conversation and ask them these things. That's where you need to be, and that's where you need to start this process off. Another cool little tip that I want to share with you. I like to go to the viral content sites like BuzzSumo, and you type in the industry, and you get to see what content is being viewed the most, what has been most, what's important to this industry. That establishes proof of what people are interested in. You'll start to see the pattern when you search. You'll see problems continually pop up. You'll see the content, 5 ways to do this, biggest ways to avoid this. You'll start to identify these things. You need to make note of them. You pop that into your solution. So there's a few free strategies that you want to implement. And now we're going to get stuck into my favorite, and that's setting up a very basic landing page. All right, this is really cool because this is like taking the first step. This is dipping the toe into the hot water or the cold water, whatever part of the world you're in. I don't know. But in any case, this is your first step into actually functioning like a business person, because you get to set up something that actually tests your idea, and you get to spend a few bucks. There's some really cost-effective ways to do that, and there's some really fast ways to do that. We could get started you could do this for free. You could use a Google form. I actually did that in a training webinar. If you haven't seen that yet, I recommend that you do. And I designed that specifically for people who didn't have any money, so that they couldn't have the excuse that they don't have enough money to start a business. In saying that, I love the software. I use ClickFunnels, I use Leadpages, but my main man Ryan Stewman has actually come up with something that will help you, and that's PhoneSites.com. You can literally get a landing page set up in 5 to 10 minutes and get real feedback, test your idea, and start to talk to people really, really quickly. And that we've never been in a position to be able to do something like that before, so it's pretty cool. So we're going to get something up very quick. We're going to get real feedback from people. So the key to this is calling out the person or the town. Let's go local community. So you know, people of Dallas, people of Wisconsin. We have an idea and we'd like your feedback. We're launching a product or service, depending on whatever you're doing. We want to help you. But before we do that, we need to know what you really want. So the key to this is figuring out what they want without having to do what they don't want. And we ask that question in an interesting way, and we ask for their genuine feedback because we really want to help these people. So we're going to start to identify with some certainty if the thing that we're trying to do is wanted, because people will either enter their information in and tell you that they're interested, or they won't. It's just that simple. So that's how we know if there's a genuine need for the stuff that we want to sell. And, you know, I want to be very clear. I want to be very specific here because I know I do ramble on, but I am very passionate about this stuff. So the key you want to put out your core offer and see if people are interested. As quickly as possible, we want to use a landing page, all right? We want to capture some information and we want to see who's interested. And if no one signs up, we have, you know, you've essentially dodged a bullet, you've saved yourself a financial fortune, and you've avoided one of the biggest problems that most failing startups never realize to even look at. So with that in mind, we'll move on to the next video. I'll see you in the next training. Keep your hair on point, my friends. See you soon.